into a stressful day to really help find that peace and find that comfort, to help the body come back to a sense of balance, because that's what's so important. I know I've heard Doc Ollie and others speak about exercise at conventions and just all the things that we want to do to maintain homeostasis, and that's just so important. But let's get back to the interview for just a minute. Um, so Jason, tell us a little bit, real quick, briefly, about what it was like when you returned home, what you anticipated, what you expected.
Coming home from the war certainly already had a shift in who I was. I could already tell that personally the way I view the world even changed. So that I had my own paradigm shift that occurred because of the war. And I literally was in such just a high stress mode, basically 24/7, that I was just trying to survive day to day. I had a difficult time even just trying to plan out my next day. So for me, coming home, it was not necessarily a positive experience that I had expected. I figured coming home from being shot at would allow me to be free of that, and I could regroup and get on with my life. And I tried really hard to do that, but ultimately was very unsuccessful. And so for me, it was a very dark season for me coming home.
Absolutely. And I know in the book you talk a lot about what you went through and what you expected and some of the hurdles, from the simple dietary fact to the emotional to some of the other challenges that you faced in trying to put life back together after war.
Right.
And, you know, kind of in closing here a little bit, what enticed you to open up a bottle of oil?
Having gone through everything I gone through, again, y'all got to get the book to really get into a little bit more of my story. But really, what got me to opening up a bottle of oil was being sick and tired of what I had already tried through the systems that we have in place in our culture today, in our country today. Giving me this bottle of oil, or that bottle of oil, my goal was to find hope. And so if I could find something that would allow me to live a better life, allow me to sleep better, allow me to do anything better, I was willing to try it. It was the hope that I had been taught about what the oils could offer that allowed me to take courage in opening that bottle and, putting it around your belly button and doing all these crazy things that to a normal person would be like, that's the weirdest thing ever. But I did it anyways because I needed something better. I knew I needed something better for myself, for my family, and I was willing to do that because of the journey I had already been through. And so it was the hope in that model that allowed me to at least try it.
Wow. Absolutely. You know, I, I know for me, my praying mom has done a lot in the different aspects of my own life and the things and the battles I've faced. What would you tell that praying mom that her son has been in war, or he's dealing with some pretty serious mental health issues, or that dad that's trying to help? Maybe, guys, I hope there's not kids listening to this, but so you might want to muffle their ears real quick, or maybe that dad that his daughter was raped, and they're trying to, first of all, seek treatment, seek help, seek all these things, in which they're asking all these questions, because until you've been through something like this, you don't always understand what's going to work, what's not going to work, or how's it going to go. I know that's what a lot of people in the office ask me all the time, coming in, dealing with for psychological treatment and whatnot. But well, we're sorry. We're gonna praise you in the storm,
That's
but
right. That's right.
definitely apologize for that phone. But what would you tell that mom, that dad, that aunt, that uncle that is dealing with some of this or facing some of those situations?
I think the biggest thing to this whole story and this whole book, this whole journey for me, is communicating that you can walk through your trauma to the other side of wellness, and to really be able to find that quality of life again that you had hoped for, in spite of the experiences that you've been through. That there is something that's natural and safe that we can use and work with in our journey to wellness that'll enable us to be able to walk through that safely, and there's hope on the other side. That's the biggest thing for me, is instilling hope that there is a better quality of life, that you can walk through something traumatic like war, like rape, like child abuse, like any traumatic experience that you can name, And that would be my biggest message, is to communicate that you don't have to be some soldier that's been through combat to be able to walk through your trauma. It doesn't matter the experience that you went through. You can get to the other side of it and truly find a joy and a peace in your life that you've never experienced before. That's the journey that I've been through and still going on. But ultimately, when I look at it, I'm in a position today where I feel like I've had more peace and comfort in my life today than I have my entire life. Because as I was going through my journey to wellness, I not only was able to work through things from the war, but from my childhood, and allowed me to find freedom that I've never had before. And ultimately, that's my goal, is to instill hope that there's a freedom and a joy and a peace that you can live in your life that you can find with your essential oils. And that's the equipping that we're going to try to provide y'all in this book.
Yeah, and just tell me a little bit more about the things that you've been thinking about as far as keeping people connected. We self-published this book for a reason.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that and why.
We wanted to be able to basically open up to everybody. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it can be real easy to make assumptions about who's been through trauma and who hasn't been through trauma. But honestly, the way I put it is, if anybody's been born, you've been through trauma. We all go through different things in our life that's caused hardship. And so for that reason, we wanted to open this book up to across the board. If you've walked through something that has been harsh and traumatic for you, irrelevant to what that was, you can still walk through that to a peace and a joy in your life. So for us, it was important for us to not be tied down to one avenue or another, or one group of people or another. We wanted to open this up to everybody, because there is a life that God's created you to live, and we want to help you find that life. And really, that freedom that you end up finding through your journey to wellness allows you to get to that point in your life. And that's really the biggest impact that I hope to have.
Yeah, so tell them a little bit about how they can get in touch with you and with me and all that good stuff.
Perfect. The best place to do that is to contact us either straight through our website, where you can tap into our email. So you can go to paradigmpressshop.com. You can also email us directly at paradigmpressllc@gmail.com and be able to contact us directly there. Be able to reach either Ryan or myself through that avenue is the best way to get a hold of us. And we can answer any specific questions, or really get down to helping you get connected to purchasing the book, getting us out to maybe speaking for an event for you. We can do any of that. Just contact us through our website, and be the best place to do that.
So speaking for events is going to be an opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to equip your organization to understanding what this book is going to be able to do for you and for others, and being able to really share that in a powerful way. So definitely we are open to speaking at your events and being able to coordinate that with you. We'd be happy to do that. I think that's going to be a great tool to empower your team in order to help people walk through their trauma.
Well, awesome. Well, Jason, thanks for being with us here today.
And thank you, Ryan. Absolutely. This was fabulous. I'm glad that we were able to take the time apart to do this and be able to share our journey and helping, again, create that hope for wellness on the other side of trauma.
Absolutely. And guys, once again, I've got a separate website for my own office and my own clinical stuff. I offer numerous services. Some of them can be done by phone. Others, I'll need you to be in the office. But I do trauma intensive, where people get to come spend 4 or 5 days with me in a row. And it's pretty in-depth work, but I have a lot of people with a lot of success stories. So if you're really looking for a place to find hope, let me know. Sometimes it's hard talking about the work you do. The work I do has faces. It's got a story. So, I love hearing those stories. I love getting the opportunity to work with people, to find hope, these things that Jason has talked about today. So whether you want to hear more from Jason, or maybe you're looking for the clinical approach, there's hope out there.
Absolutely.
Any final words?
That's the biggest word that we hope to be able to create with this book and with our journey that we're going to be instilling from here on out, is that there's hope. And what does that look like? How does that work? How does that function? So many times we get stories of people getting to the other side of trauma like I have, but how did that look? What did it look like? And this book's going to give you that ability to walk through your journey. It really gives you the ability to be at home in the comfort of your safe space, and being able to really truly look in the mirror and walk